How's it going, guys? This is Ketchup and Mustard here once again, bringing you a Triborg video, as usual, I suppose. It's been a while since we've done one of these. We do apologise for that. Those of you that have been following us on Twitter and stuff will know that we've been pretty damn busy. It's been kind of hard to squeeze the time in, but we are good to go at the moment. And basically, the most asked for video of the two of us collectively, hands down, has been, what do we think of Triborg now? What have the changes kind of done to the character? And, you know, how good do we think they are and all that stuff. This video is going to kind of address that, mainly with Cyrax, because he was the one that was changed. Sektor was different as well, but nowhere near as severe. And it's not us talking about how good we think they are. It's more, these characters are different now, and here's how we think they are kind of best used since the patch, basically. So, Mustard, what is different about Cyrax?
Near enough every single B&B and hit confirm we used to do, we can no longer do. I know it's been about 4 weeks since the patch, and there's been plenty of time for Cyrax players to develop. So I've got some new ones, inspired from some other players that I've been watching with the character lately, because I haven't had a huge amount of time to play myself. So I've been watching a lot of other Cyrax's players. Hang on. There's a lot of other Cyrax players that I've been paying attention to really see what they're doing now, what combos they're doing, and what's basically possible. Once a bomb has landed, you can no longer do a net. So I'm going to get you in a bomb, and I'm going to try and net you, and it's going to misfire. That doesn't work anymore. When you're in the net, you are stuck in it for significantly less time than you used to be. So you're not going to get any full screen net trades anywhere near as good as you used to. You can still do some pretty cool things. You have to sort of commit into it a lot. But if you go like, let's have a quick brainstorm here. If I go into source, straight into net, straight into like bomb, you can combo from it. Like if I get you to go this to that to that, like there are some things you can do to get full screen trades with meter burn net, meter burn saw, even if you really commit to it. But you're not going to get like a standing net trade and be able to go, oh, okay, cool, time to do a bomb and then follow up, because you're just not simply going to be able to do that anymore. So without further ado, let's look at some different confirms that we used to have. He still has the hard to blockable from an air net. If I hit you in an airborne net and you hit the ground, you'll still land on your feet and it will reset a situation. So he still has hard to blockables. It's just because hard to blockables involve launching with bombs, you're not going to get as much of a damage payout as you used to, because it used to be get the hard to blockable, hit them in a net, do your crazy bomb combos, and you sort of loop like 40% into 40% meterlessly and so on and so forth. He still gets really good damage off his hard to blockables. Let me quickly show you a quick example. Hopefully I don't mess it up too much. It's quite a new combo to me, but we'll see.
And that's hit confirm into the meter burn saw right there. There's the hard to blockable. Into whatever damage that you want to do. Into a splat,
into bomb splat, and then you get whatever you want on their wake up. So that was about a 50% minimum sort of hard to blockable reset situation. It can be blocked. We won't demonstrate it in case Ketchup can't do it, even though he's very consistent with it. It can be blocked. So it's still like the old hard to blockable that people used to have to take, but you can still get nice decent damage out of it. You're still getting like 50% at the cost of no bar. You can go into meter burn saw to make it safe. So you have options. The thing that Cyrax players fear the most now is opponents that just tech roll after everything. So considering, like if I go 4-2-1 this, a nice confirm we can do is like, if I get this, I was doing this a lot. I was doing this one a lot of hyper spotting, and I'll quickly show you the damage payout.
And this is obviously after an opponent would have got hit by some sort of mix-up rather than an outright, but you guys get the idea.
So 1 bar 30%, that's not great. It's respectable damage, but not that good. So the fact that I had like 26 into hard to blockable reset for like high 20s, low 30s, if you do the right sort of confirm, you can extend it beyond what I showed you, but for the purpose of the video, I'm going to keep it relatively simple. It's kind of worth really going for that hard to blockable off of every single airborne net now, because truly the damage isn't that much different now, and you really give yourself a much better time going for this sort of confirm instead. And then if I go here, oh, lag spike.
Lag spike, but, even though we're sharing the same house. How about that?
Yeah, that's wonderful. But that's the next thing I'm going to show you guys, is ways to sort of deal with tech rolls. Off of every back two in the air, like if I get, let me quickly see if I can do this. Back two of that. If I run underneath you and you tech roll, sort of as I jump, you'll sort of tech roll with me. So a way that Cyrax players have been dealing with it, going underneath and then sort of jumping, that sort of goes with the tech roll. So we have to try and chase down tech rolls now. If people don't tech roll, we can do these standard confirms like this. Quickly get this one right. Might take me a couple of tries. If you don't tech roll, you're forced to take those hard to blockables. That's definitely not guaranteed at all. So it's completely about recognizing, is my opponent going to tech roll? What are they going to do about it? And if I think you are going to tech roll, I can take that exact same sort of confirm like that and do this instead.
Let's see if I can do the tech roll.
And I'll sort of go with you on the way up. So obviously some wake-ups will beat that. If you're not going to spend it, you kind of have to take my block. So I'm guaranteed a 1-1-1 at the very least. It kind of just changed up how we use the neutral now. We have options for tech rolling if we commit to it. It's all about reading your opponent on their wake-up. Cyrax still has decent damage. He still has nice confirms, very fun, very flashy combos, which we liked about him in the first place, albeit not as long and not as drawn out. He still has good damage, and he still has setup. It's just completely... You have to make the read at all points. It really comes down to what you as a Cyrax player are trying to enforce your opponent to do. But let's not forget, we have meter burn bomb. We can make them block, and I can throw you onto it, and then we can do whatever. So meter burn bombs are good now, better than they used to be. We've still got the old bomb traps that you guys have seen on the channel. They still exist. We just have to do different combos now. Really think about the setup before your combo is finished. Try and adapt to how your opponent's getting out of your pressure as quickly as possible, because Cyrax has setup. It's just very commit heavy. You have to be really sure what you're doing before you finish your combo.
I'd like to add a couple of little things right here as well. The difference in what he's like now compared to how he used to be. When you go for the chasing down of the tech roll to kind of jump, and even though the opponent has tech rolled, you're now still in their face getting some kind of jump in. By running underneath me, which he was doing mid-combo, you noticed the first time I actually tried to tech roll, but because he ran underneath me, it screwed up my tech roll input. So by running underneath me during that combo, I have to tech roll in the opposite direction, which is what you normally wouldn't do.
And that's also going to mess with wake-ups as well.
Yeah, exactly. So if you tech roll in the traditional direction or try and do your traditional knockdown, there is always the chance that by him running underneath, you will actually screw up the timing and force a regular wake-up, which is exactly what Cyrax wants. But just to touch on that hard to blockable, if you want to demonstrate the hard to blockable just one more time, just the base, not necessarily the follow-up combo, but when you get the hard to blockable situation, this is always a set block. It will always be overhead and low. It's just up to the Cyrax player to try and make it as tight as physically possible. But from a matchup perspective, it is very much a hard to blockable. It's just a block you can completely learn, for sure. So there's nothing like ridiculous about it. It's a tricky block. The only reason I've blocked that twice in a row is because we just practiced this a bunch of times. So obviously, you know, it's not as broken as it used to be, for sure, because it's a set block every single time.
Cyrax used to be fish for the net, go for the vortex if you wanted to do it, and just rinse and repeat and loop it, and cash out on the damage if you wanted to. Now it's setup. He's a very setup heavy character, which is kind of the way I enjoy playing him the most. I never really went for the vortex as much as a lot of Cyrax players, so I can still play him the way I kind of liked. I just had to completely change all of my confirms, all my B&Bs, and I'm sure a lot of you guys watching would have had to do the same. And now the character's been out in this current patch state for a while. We've got some new confirms. He is, without a shadow of a doubt, nowhere near as good as he used to be, but I do think Cyrax has a place. I think it's going to take a little while for us to learn the matchups in the game again, because that's all going to be different, but I think Cyrax is actually still quite strong, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he develops in the next coming months.
Awesome. So I guess we'll move on to Sektor. It's not going to be as complicated. Basically, we're going to cover some of the little changes. You guys have already seen it already. This no longer has its hit advantage, the meter burn version. They can stand up much quicker. I'm assuming it was removed because they were on the floor for a lot longer than intended. It did kind of look like a little bit of a bug that they were supposed to be able to stand up. There was a lot of hits done on this, but Sektor lost his ability to go for the up missiles into whatever he wants. He can still technically actually get the up missiles into some kind of armor breaking if you do it as early as physically possible.
I was just going to try and wake up it to show that.
Oops. If you go for like early as physically possible up missiles, you can sometimes go for it, but it's a very, very tight kind of link. However, there are actually some other secret little changes. The meter burn, this used to be, I believe, plus 12 on hit. It's actually now plus 10. This lost 2 hit plus frames on hit, so the meter burn flame burn actually isn't as plus on hit as it used to be by a couple of frames. So he did get hit there. Meter burn missile, it's a weird one. It went from being plus 2 in the move list to minus 10. It's actually still safe on block, like this. You still can't punish me. However, if you crouch block, I mean, this could have been the way pre-patch. I remember pre-patch seeing this happen. So,
but there is no reason to not do this
for sure.
now.
If you block meter burn missile while crouch blocking, the final missile will fly off over your head, which does actually leave me full combo punishable. Mustard's just mistiming it right there. But if you do it earlier, as you can see right there, that's actually the play that cost me hype spotting right there. Was when he crouched that final missile.
Sorry, bro.
Hey,
I didn't nerf him. It wasn't my bad.
We didn't know. We didn't know, did we? So basically, what's happened is with the universal nerfs to some of his strings, like for example, the back 3 is slower now. I believe he lost some of the hit advantage on some of his strings also. But as a base, this isn't as plus on hit. This has been adjusted in the frame data list. And it is also unsafe if you crouch block, which could have been the way to begin with, but it is unsafe now, so there are no safe ways to get a 50-50. With Sektor, there's no safe way to do it anymore, really, because everything else is unsafe, right? I mean, 50-50, unsafe, like, unsafe, and now this is unsafe because you just crouch block and punish it, so there is no safe option. However, one of the things I wanted to address was the issue I had with Sektor being nerfed initially, with this specifically being gone, is that for the cost of a bar, I could be right up close and get Sektor-style Oki into good setup, right? Now, that was taken away. So it's taken me a while. Admittedly, we haven't really had the time to search as much as we normally would do because of how busy we've been. But I've kind of found an extra element of Sektor, which I'm going to start implementing into my game, which is the hard knockdown of straight missile. This is a true hard knockdown. The opponent cannot tech roll. The opponent can delayed wake up. But this is a set knockdown every single time, with the exception of if they delay the wake up. The reason this is a big deal is because you can actually end combos in this. So if I end a combo in straight missile, I can actually go in and apply pressure, which I couldn't, the second best thing for that would be normally this. But, I mean, as I start to move, you'll realize that you start to stand up pretty much as I move. So it's actually it's almost in that respect zero. Like, we're in a neutral state after I end a combo in this, which means that
I can backdash, I can jump, I can basically just get away from whatever it is you're trying to do.
So you can wake up attack from that range, you can jump, you can backdash. So I'm like, well, Sektor really needs a way to lock the opponent down, and this is where the straight missile comes into play. My old style combo would be this. For example, this is a very traditional Sektor BNB. This will, you send them full screen or whatever, does the same damage. This does 40% damage and puts me in that situation. I have the screen positioning, but I don't have the knockdown. Now, what I've mixed it up with is punish, go for your go-to punish or combo string with this. Still start it, go in for the forward 4-3 meter burn teleport, run cancel for missile, hard knockdown, I'm right in your face. And I'm plus on hit after that. So what
and instead of running in, you can go for an up rocket and put it on yourself to stop me from running in, or you can put it on me if you think I'm going to delay my wake up.
So run in and try and forward. Run in and try and forward 1 me after this. This does allow Sektor to safely set up his up missiles, just not in like a knockdown sense. But as you can see, I'm completely free. Maybe.
And that was an advancing normal, and it still hit me.
I've not tested it on something like Sub-Zero Slide. I mean, it might. The up missile itself.
It's not
going to
be guaranteed. Guaranteed setup pressure on every character in the game. There's some characters that have answers, but as a universal thing, it's very strong now.
But as you can see, going here, they took straight missile, regular up missile. I did the regular one there. Obviously, if he sits there, what some people do, like they'll sit there and take the block. So although this isn't guaranteed, some opponents will sit there and block and wake up. So if I do this and then go for the up missile and to jump in, like it's still a kind of a thing because some people kind of freeze up and wake up and they wait for something.
When it comes to up rockets, we came to the agreement that if you put rockets on yourself, that's kind of a free. It's kind of a free close up rocket from a straight rocket on hit, because if I run in, I'm going to get hit by them. If you put them on me for pressure, you're punishable if I wake up and sprint right at you. But if I wake up and sprint right at you, if I think you're going to go for up rocket, I have no way of knowing where you've put them. So if I run in and you get a close rocket, I've literally just given you a full combo for free. So it's the safer option for me to just take the block of the up rocket. But if I feel like being brave, I can run at you. But you could always do that against Sektor and MK9 as well. So that's just always been a Sektor kind of guessing game.
There are another 2 variations of what we do here. The reason we're going to go for 1 forward 2 1 2 backdash into 2 1 forward 4 3 is because we need to get the stamina back so we can run cancel standing 4 into that. So the forward 4-3, the reason we're doing that is because, yes, it gives me like 1% less damage mid-combo, but what it does allow me to do is regenerate the stamina, which allows for the run cancel for missile, which gives me the hard knockdown. Now, the hard knockdown itself, not only do I get something like an up missile just in a situation, At times it's extremely nice that I can run in and go for one of my 50-50 options if I want to. If they stand up and not wake up attack, it ties in very nicely that by the time I've done my forward dash into a normal, they're standing up and they take it. Or also, wake up backdash, very prominent against Sektor. If you wake up backdash after this, for example, and I try and chase you down, as you can see I can't, even if I do my advancing forward too. Going for this new conversion into the hard knockdown of the missile allows us to go for, I want you to wake up backdash again. This will chase down a backdash cleanly.
And
because we're going to go for the same combo, and as you can see, it completely regenerates my stamina and allows me to do it again. So this combo actually, throughout its entirety, will 100% guarantee that Sektor gets all of his stamina back, which will allow for the standing 4 missile into forward dash back into something else. So I know I kind of went into a lot of in-depth stuff, but it's
worth
just
knowing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a variation. It's something I think Sektor players should implement. Some of them might already do. I'm not sure, but the hard knockdown of this does allow enough time to do one forward dash into something that they have to hold as they stand up. Obviously they can wake up attack, but the important thing is, at least when I get the missile and I do one forward dash, I am point blank. So if I get the read on your wake up attack, I can get some kind of punish because I'm actually at range to do something about it. So that's pretty much Triborg, Cyrax and Sektor really. We weren't really going to list the changes. We might be able to put it in the description or something, but to be honest, this video was not about the nerfs they received. It's about how they can be played now with the adjustments that have had to be made, basically.
Yep, exactly. Cheers for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it took us longer to make it than planned, but we have been very, very busy men as of late. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the characters still and are learning with us. And stay tuned, and we'll catch you all next time.
Bye-bye.